Hey guys, multi-genre author Portia Dion here again with another book review. So I was late to this author. However, I'm working on my collection of her books. Um, she is a black romance queen, especially black historical romance books. I've first read my first book of hers that I read, and I did it with this book club I called myself being a part of some years ago um, on Goodreads. But the book was called Rebel. If you haven't figured it out already, the author I'm speaking of is Beverly Jenkins. The Beverly Jenkins, okay? And as a black author, and she's also from Detroit, she is a big role model of mine. She has a way of writing these steamy scenes that aren't too explicit. I can't help but make mine explicit. That's just me as a writer. But if you look, let me go this way. Hold on. So this stack that's going up here are just this end here are my Beverly Jenkins books, minus 3, because I have 2 of them by my side and 1 in my room that I'm currently reading Indigo now. But I'm about to review Through the Storm. And I know that there is like a release order to the books with the Levesque boys. And yes, I've been reading them out of order, but they are standalone enough to where you can do that. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? Alright, so we have Raymond and we have Miss Sable. Where's my notes? Where are my notes? Because I absolutely loved my notes. Love this book. Just about at this point, really, in my life and as an author and as a reader, anything about Beverly Jenkins is 5 stars for me. So I'm gonna just say that straight up front, okay? So Sable was everything. I mean everything. She was smart. She was beautiful, quick-minded, very loving, big heart. Like when she saw her brother again, there in the camp, the love and how she still wished well for him despite the fact that he was basically about to go into hiding in plain sight. And what I mean by that is he was, like her, they were both mixed race. Their father was their slave owner. But he was very fair and he could pass as white. And that's at the point that she saw him again there in the camp after she escaped from the plantation. He was passing then. And she rebuked him for it, but she understood why he was doing it. And then he was going out to California, where he was going to continue passing. I know he has a book, and I do have it sitting up there. I haven't read it yet, but I'll get to that one eventually. Let's see here. Raymond, dear sir, the entitlement. I so totally get why. And I didn't get this in the ones I read in the Levesque books that I read prior to reading Through the Storm. But I get why the other brothers refer to Raymond as His Majesty. Sir, the entitlement. Not only to like just everything and how you treat your brothers, aka the brats, but also, and all the Levesque boys seem to have this part here in heavy doses. Just the entitlement and thinking that every single woman wants him and that it's just easy. I mean, it's being given to them so easy and openly that they are all shocked when they come across someone that they want who doesn't immediately give in to them and who could care less about their Levesque name, about their means, the businesses and all that stuff. Like, it's... However, these French-speaking descendants of pirates, they got the sauce, but honey, they got the sauce, okay? So, let's see. Swoon. I swooned so many times in this dang on book. And with the all the books, the 3 books I've read so far with the Levesque men in them. And again, I'm currently reading Indigo right now. So at the time I'm recording this, so by the time this one posts, I will most likely be done with Indigo. But this man seduced this woman in the cold, out in public in the park, like in the corner of a park. Like just had her with her boobies out in the wintertime. Granted, it's New Orleans wintertime, but still. You're in public, sir. You are in public. But that's what they do. That's what these Levesque men do to you. They just get you all out your wits and have you doing stuff and experience stuff that you ain't never had before. And why, oh why, all of the Levesque men, okay, and again, I've only read 3 of the books with Juliana's sons in them. And Miss Juliana was a queen, I'm going to come back to her. But all the Levesque men seem to be late in actually saying the words, I love you, to the woman that they have fallen in love with. They don't say it early on. Raymond was so fashionably late that he almost didn't even get a chance to say it. And granted, the next one, Archer, he was in the same boat, but at the same time, I feel like Raymond's was worse. Like, bro, why did you wait? You've been married to her at this point. When Sable gets snatched up again and put back into slavery by what was his name? Morse, Henry Morse, and Sally Ann. We're gonna come back to them. But when she gets put back into slavery, you realize then that you hadn't actually told her that you loved her. Bro, y'all been married. Y'all done took in 3 kids. Y'all's a family and she preggers. Bro, get it together. Taking in the kids. So taking in the 3 kids, adopting them, especially when it became way too dangerous for them to be on the streets and they, kids were being snatched up and forced to sign labor agreements with plantation owners and basically forced back into slavery. Them taking in those 3 kids, the boy and his 2 sisters, and raising them as his own. The way that whole thing went about, Raymond basically made the little boy an offer that he couldn't refuse because he was just trying to protect his sisters and make sure they would be safe and he wouldn't have to worry about him. And Raymond was like, yeah, we'll take your sisters in, but you have to stay as well. We're going to take you in as well. And, wrote the whole contract. And then, of course, because the son has a heart of gold, even though, he under normal circumstances would have gotten in trouble for what he was doing when he was sneaking out the house. But when they realized why he was sneaking out the house and where he was going, what he was doing, and how that started Sable, into the her starting her orphanage and all that stuff, and the fact that them suckers basically came through the orphanage. When I say suckers, I mean the slave owners and the white folks who was upset that blacks were free and could do their own thing. And the fact that they went in there and destroyed that orphanage and took those kids irritated my soul. However, many of them got what they had coming. So, let's see here. Monty. So, jumping back to the beginning of the book, Monty. Sable comes from a line of queens. Literal queens. But also very strong women. Because what Monty did in that scene towards the end of the chapter just before Sable left, she did what she had to do. She did what she had to do, and she took Fontaine out. The Sable's daddy took him out, in the process, which was what gave Sable the opportunity to be able to flee, and where she found Armenta, which, if you guys don't know, Uh, if you don't know your history, or even if you didn't watch the movie Harriet, that's Harriet Tubman. That's the name that her mother gave her. I'm so glad that she's throughout this book, and she's in the next book, Wind of Storm, which I'm gonna review that one in the next video. But I'm so glad that she's throughout the books and is there, and I just smiled whenever her name was mentioned throughout the books. Like, I absolutely loved it. Let's see, Henry Morse and Sally Ann. Henry just wanted to possess her. He wanted to possess her so he could be free to do what he, play his sick thoughts out and stuff. Basically, rape her, grape her, essay her. He wanted to be able to own her so he could have his will with her whenever he wanted. With Sable, he had this disgusting obsession with her. And Sally Ann told him that when he brought Sable and her kids to their home there in New Orleans, and she said, no, you get her out of here right now. She has caused me too much pain because of Sable. She blamed Sable, but it wasn't really Sable's fault. But Sable was tied to the hurt that Sally Ann, felt in the losing of her first husband, and essentially in her losing her daughter, Mavis, who I was very happy for in the end, because Mavis decided to move to Chicago and marry a Yankee, and Sally Ann just couldn't take it. But Sally Ann also Mavis felt that was the right thing for her to do, because she didn't agree with her mom and their being slaves, and she was very close to her half-sister, Sable. So, I was happy for Mavis. Henry Morse got exactly what was coming to him. I hope he suffered well there in China, or wherever, I can't remember, wherever it was they sent him to. I hope he suffered well. Sally Ann, I hope she died of old age by herself in that house and nobody found her body. Let's see here. Again, I was happy they took in the 3 kids. I was sad that the kids were subjected to slavery. But, of course, the Levesque boys, being the Levesque boys, they found her. They saved her and the 3 kids. Sable and Raymond finally said their I love yous, and they went back home and lived on and went on to have more kids. And I just loved it. I loved it. Miss Bev, queen of romance, queen of historical romance. Again, as I said in the beginning of this video, 5 stars for me. 5 stars. Yeah, I can't say anything more about that. So, I'll be back with another book review next week. And as I said a little bit ago, I will be reviewing Winds of Storm. So, until then, guys, take care.